We will now hear about corruption and antisocial behaviors from Professor J. Gopala Krishna and Mrs. J. Jayasri, founders of JGK and JJ Charitable Trust, Apex and SOMAS.
Corruption and anti-social tendencies or anti-self with no escape. This is the title we are following.
See, from a long time, we are giving services to improve enjoyment, powers, and efficiency in life in general, and in special areas like intelligence, intellect, and mathematical sciences. When such powers are acquired, one, it is important that doesn't misuse them and harm himself and the society. We shall now give some essential details. In general, every human actions has reactions, possibly in pieces, sooner, later, or much later. If one harms, escape may be possible from the courts ultimately, but there is no escape from mental agony or disturbances and people's wrath. If one helps, the beneficiaries may not return, but the deserved benefits come in the forms like goodwill. We will improve wisdom so that one may not get cheated in general. One may refer to our web somas.org for such details. One of our important aims is to reduce corruption, a criminal nature, and crime. For this, we are also trying to help people not misunderstand their beliefs but understand them properly and get optimal benefits so that the society is served more efficiently. For example, more than 99% of the globe follow some parental divine system. They believe that there is a God or goddess, say God, who is like a parent. In general, they also take it for granted that He is so benevolent to pardon their crimes or sins in exchange to some prayers or offerings. Let us carefully analyze the situation. God is like a parent. He is parent to all. The crime under consideration is by one child of his against the other. Now, there is no wisdom in thinking that God would so casually excuse their crimes for the exchanges as said above. An ordinary father, he cannot be expected to do that. Can we expect that the divine parent with such extraordinary levels of wisdom to go for such an excuse? Many divert to ask whether God will not do anything. Certainly God helps. The Divine Father will not desert His children, but will try to put them in the right track. Not always by pleasant methods. He will also give some concessions like postponements, installments to compensate their losses caused. But there is no cancellation. Other diversions are like questioning whether prayers have no significance. They do have great significance, but not getting away with crimes. One is better in solving a problem after a prayer, even to a God who does not exist, due to factors like music, thoughts getting reduced, and so on. Actually, prayers do help in improving mental peace, mental health, and mental powers, provided the concerned person has real faith in the concerned or conceived God. Here, it is very important to understand the concept of devotion. It is, of course, pleasing the divine God, but obviously the child can
The
please
Divine Father.
divine Father.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, the child can please the Father only through friendliness, amicability, and goodness towards other children. We are doing our best to propagate the above messages to bring a desirable social order. Actually, we have taken up the project like prism.
Prism, proper interpretation of scriptural messages and anecdotes.
These are detailed in our web somas.org.
You mentioned the consequences of these actions. Can you illustrate them a little bit?
Yeah, see, immediately, for example, in the Hindu scriptures, uh, there is a story regarding to gateman of Lord Vishnu, Jaya and Vijaya. Actually, once some great rishis, Sanaka, Sanandana, etc., have come and sought for the for meeting the Lord. Then the gateman said that rudely replied and asked them to quit the place. So they became angry and gave a curse that they don't deserve to be there and they should be born elsewhere. Then of course Lord Vishnu came and explained to his 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 people,
Jaya and Vijaya.
yeah, his people with Jaya and Vijaya, that although they are such great devotees and really good people who could take such positions, see, actually Lord Vishnu doesn't require them. Lord Vishnu doesn't require even a gate. He has put a gate and he has put the gate guards just to give them a chance to serve the Lord. Well, so they are really very great people, and very nice, good people also. But even such people, when they commit a mistake, they have to take the consequences. So this is what Lord Vishnu explained. And of course, then he gave them the choice. See, they can come very close, very quickly to him through inimical methods, by constantly thinking about him and keep on negatively abusing him and so on. Or they can also come by friendly devotions and all that. In 7 janmas, they were earlier one in 3 janmas. So this is one version of the story anyway. And the gateman opted to return to the Lord more quickly, and so they opted to the method of inimical approach. So that's how, of course, they are born as
Ravana,
first
as
Hiranyakasipa, Hiranyaksha, then Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Sisupala and Dantavaktara.
Yes.
So in the 3 janmas and 3 yugas actually. So they and
There is another.
this is one story, and where of course it is very made explicit that anybody has to take the consequences of their
Actions.
sins or actions, whatever. Another anecdote is about Lord Vishnu himself, that he himself will have to take the consequences of his actions, mistakes, or sins, whatever. So that is the situation where there is a great rishi called Bhrigu. His wife is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, but she has a bias towards Rakshasas. That is, the cruel race of which may correspond to demons. And then, of course, she had a nice plan. Lord, people used to get bones from others, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all that. And then he used to, and Vishnu used to set right the situations.
Critical time.
Yeah. And so, if Vishnu himself gives such boons, the nothing adverse may happen to the Rakshasas is the plan of Bhrigu's wife. And she accordingly sat for penance, tapas. But Lord Vishnu did not delay, because if he delays, it may become difficult for him to avoid or not delay. It may become difficult for him to not to give the boons. So this also shows that one can acquire powers even against gods by proper techniques. And anyway, so then of course Lord Vishnu so immediately chose to come down and appear before her and explained to her that if the boons are given to such cruel-minded people, then of course the society will suffer, and also they will suffer as a consequence of their
own actions.
their own bad acts, so evil acts. So that's how finally, but she didn't yield and she wanted to go ahead with her penance. And Lord Vishnu used his chakra, his weapon wheel, and removed her head. Then of course the Bhrigu came and immediately gave him a curse that he should also suffer separation from his wife. Then of course Lord Vishnu has told him that he is accepted to take the curse, and he told him that because he has put her to the high level of deathly suffering, so he is prepared to take it, but then asked the sage to make her alive. Okay. Then, but of course, the sage found that he has discharged his battery, and he is not in a position to do it. Then, of course, Lord Vishnu asked him to put the head on her body, and she was alive. But this time, it is written, of course, due to the holy touch of the Lord Vishnu's weapon, her head got repaired, her mind got repaired, and she became all right. But she apologized and gave up her efforts. Okay. Actually, if she sat to say further a second time, sat a second time for the penance, he might remove her head permanently, and she must have understood it also. Well, so then of course Bhrugu felt very bad about it, that he unnecessarily cursed him and all that. But of course he said that he agreed for the taking the consequences of putting her to suffering of a very high order. So but he said that he will do it in his incarnation avatar as Sri Rama. So that's how, of course, this is one clue why Valmiki wrote the Ramayana. He was forthrightly frank and described how Sri Rama wept at the loss of his wife. I mean, when his wife is taken away by Ravana, of course, by unfair thieving. Okay, but of course, his weeping was described in so many of the chapters, and that means he has to forget temporarily and actually suffer the agony of separation from his wife. So that's how it happened. Actually, in Ramayana itself, this one taking consequences of the actions and suffering for their sins is elucidated on very crucial occasions. One occasion is that when Maricha, one Rakshasa, he took the shape of a golden deer and of course cheated Rama particularly and Sita, and Rama ran after him to catch and get the deer. Maybe Rama actually knew, but Sita was requesting it, so he did it anyway. But so at that time, that fellow while dying cried, talking out the names of Sita and Lakshmana. Okay. So giving a wrong impression that Rama is in trouble and giving his last calls that way. But actually, then Sita, of course, insisted that Lakshmana should go and immediately help Rama or something. So, but of course, Lakshmana knew the trick of these demons and did not go wait. And in fact, he knows that it might be putting Sita into a dangerous situation. But she used very foul words, very bad words, and said, Lakshmana called Lakshmana a big cheat and all that. So that is a crime, of course, which normally Sita would never have done. So she suffered, she did it anyway. So at the time when, of course, Rama, Lakshmana and all these people won the war against Ravana, killed him and all that, then Sita was insulted by Rama. So he said that you are with Ravana, okay, but well, now of course I have freed you because as a hero I should do it and I did it. Now you can go and live with anybody you like. such words, just made insulted her, so very harshly. So that is a reaction to her action of insulting the innocent and the innocent follower Lakshmana, like that. So that is again illustrates the action-reaction principle. And well, actually there Sita chose to prepare fire, wanted Hanuman to prepare a fire and wanted to get into it. Rama insisted that she should prove herself that she is chaste. And now many people question whether is it fair that Rama should do it, why not he also prove his chastity. Well, the point there is that she is going to be the queen and she should be above board according to the norms of those days. So people misunderstand here that that's how, of course, she went into fire and all that. Well, but the point there is, in those days, the devas, the devas like Agni, that is the fire, and the humans, they were meeting sometimes and at least in some ceremonies and actually talking to each other, and particularly when somebody has to prove that there is the lack of guilt on one part, they used to invite such devas to certify the facts, and that used to be a very common thing. So Sita getting into fire is in accordance with the normal events going on those days, and it is not as if Rama asked her to get into the fire and so on and so forth. So these stories have to be also interpreted properly, and so that is, of course, the state of affairs. And if properly Ramayana is properly interpreted and understood, then of course the devotees of Rama or Vishnu will have a clean mind and can go ahead with their devotional practices and evolution processes. So it is very important that they have correct understanding of such scriptures. Okay. So this is also another illustration that I have given you.